Hello everyone, how's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, hanging out with our wolves, continuing our guide for complete beginners to Elden Ring, and I'm actually going to rest at the site of grace. You see the summons immediately disappear when we do this, and there's something else we can talk to Melina about. Whenever you see a dot by her, talk to her.
Me? I'm searching for my purpose, given to me by my mother inside the Earth Tree, long ago, for the reason that I yet live, burned and bodiless. There is something for which I must apologize. I've acted the Finger Maiden, yet can offer no guidance. I am no maiden. My purpose was long ago lost.
Don't be so hard on yourself. You're giving us the ability to level up. I'm very grateful for that. Now, you can see we can go down to Ashes of War. And from here, we can use Ashes of War to grant skills and affinities to our armaments. And as it said before, any armament can only have one skill. If we add an affinity, we can alter its affinity boost. So, for example, we can go to our broadsword, and I could select it, and I could say, hey, can I put on Ash of War Storm Stomp? If I do this, I change some things about the weapon. You could see that the attack power and the attribute scaling become altered. So right now, my broadsword's attack power with its affinity of square off equipped, which is just what comes with it, is 117 attack power, D strength scaling, E dex scaling, plus 13 attack power. Now, if I instead go over here and attempt to add this on, you can see the attack power goes down. The dex scaling actually goes up, but the strength scaling is indicating moving in the other direction. So we could put that on. There's nothing wrong with that. And what I always think about with these is, I can't add anything there. I can't add anything there. What I always think about with Ashes is, do I like the actual effect of it? That's a huge factor. It's not just the stats. Like, do I like how it feels, how it wields, and the effect that comes out of it? So I'm not going to currently mess with it, but it's cool that we got one. Instead, what I want to do is I'm not going to level up because I want to teleport back to the church. And I want to go here so that we can upgrade our weapon with the smithing table. I'm going to strengthen my armament. Now I'm going to say, hey, what if I did raise up my broadsword? Well, if I did so, it would boost the physical attack power a lot. What if I wanted to raise my shield? Well, it's moving up on attribute scaling, but it doesn't add anything to what is important to me about my shield, which is the guard damage negation of it. I could also make my incantations a little bit better here, but I think the best thing for us to upgrade would be our broadsword, and so I will. I have some smithing stones. Let's go. And you can see that now it's going to take 4 smithing stone level 1 to move to broadsword level 2. I'm fine with where it's at, but that's a great boost for us. I want to, of course, raise it up, but all in due time. Next.
Weren't you?
What?
You're back.
Yes.
Care to buy something?
I do. I'm going to buy from a man here the Flask of Wondrous Physic. Note. Yep. and the Waypoint Ruins. Yeep. So I could buy this chain coif, for example, and, you know, I could say, hey, do I want this cool item right here? And one thing you can do is just say, okay, well, let me look at this thing. What has it got? Its weight is 3.8, and its physical damage negation is 4.2. That's just something very basic to look at. But when you're looking at stats, there's a lot of information here. You can obviously change the panel over here on the right with triangle. And instead of glancing at all of it at first, I'm just going to get a feel for it with the physical negation and the weight compared to what I personally have equipped.
Nice to do business.
Indeed. So let's look at our own equipment. And you could see that the weight is 3.3 and the physical negation of our hood is only 2.8. But the resistances are way better on our hood. So there's always trade-offs unless something is strictly better. But in this case, you know, the chain is probably heavier armor that is good for physical, but is it good for all of the different resistances? It might be, but it's not so much of an upgrade that I am compelled to buy it right now. Instead, what I want to buy are these items right here, these cookbooks and such. Now, I can't afford all of them, unfortunately, but I want to eventually get all of them. I want to get cracked pots, you know, and I'm going to buy these. I could have leveled up, but instead I prioritize at the moment
Nice to do business.
getting all of these cookbooks. So what did we even get though? Let's go here. Pause menu, go to inventory, and then right at the top are all these new items. I'm going to go to the Waypoint Ruins, and I'm going to push square. It says someone lurks among the Waypoint Ruins on the roads through Limgrave. Okay, so we're looking for the Waypoint Ruins. Somebody lurks there. Who could that be? And then this says the Flask of Wondrous Physic still remains in the Third Church of America, north of the Mistwood. Cross the highway bridge and follow the animal trail north. So this is actually telling us where we can go to get the Flask of Wondrous Physic, which we just would be another heal that we can get. So we see there's a bridge right here, and yet the most of the map is in obscurity. So we need to kind of chart out this territory if we were curious about that. Now, what I'm doing is I'm going to show you that basically the game obviously wants us to go through the storm gate and go this way. But what I'm instead going to do is zoom out, and we're going to go back down this way and explore everything kind of to the east and south, because these are lower level areas that we can get some very good items in and can level up our character to be ready for the castle and the first major boss of the game, the Shardbearer. So, why don't we go get a bunch of smithing stones right here? Seems okay. I've got it marked on the map, but to make it easier to find, I'm going to push X right by this tunnel and set a beacon, and I'll show you what these look like. I'm going to get Torrent out, and in the top center of the screen you see the compass, and I'm just going to move the camera around until right there we could see the beacon on the compass. And the beacons, you can place several of them and they have different numbers. So, you know, this is beacon number 1, and you can actually see it in the game world. It's that giant blue glowing line. So I'm just going to ride Torrent all out and move toward this. Okay. And there's some tarnished golden sunflowers. I'm just picking up a bunch of stuff. Oh, by the way, let me go into my inventory and let's make sure we can now craft these. We don't really need those at the moment, but good stuff to have. And I'm going to move a little bit further. And what do these messages say? They say, why is it always skeleton? Indeed. We want to go down. However, when you see a massive drop-off, you should be worried about falling and dying. Torrent can double jump, but you can't just fall and then double jump right at the end to try to, like, defy gravity and break your fall. The game is hip to that evasion, and you will take the damage and get wrecked. So we need to kind of find a way to get down there, because the cave or the tunnel that we're marking is right down there where you could see the light coming out. Now, the beacon that we placed, by the way, on the map has disappeared, because if you pass through a beacon that you've placed, it will vanish from sight. Clean up after itself. So, let's just experiment, shall we? Actually, wait. You know what? Let me go back to the road really quickly. Oh, and Torrent will break these skulls, so you can get the roots inside if you run over them in Torrent. Along this road, heading south, here we are, right? You could see there's a telescope site right here that we already talked about, and this is it. So we could do this if we want.
Oi! You there. Could you help us out, Cully?
Somebody is talking to us, but we can't see them.
You? Yeah, you there. Stop pretending you can't see me.
I really can't, my man. So somebody is chatting with us, but I actually can't see them.
Why won't anyone look me in the eye?
So what?
I'm not that ugly, am I?
Well, I mean, you said it. What you want to do here? Here we go. There's something over here. I'm just going to go pick this up. And it's a arteria leaf. Is try your very best. Oh, there is somebody on a
Oi!
mount over there.
You there.
Yep.
Could you help us out, Cully?
Do your best to follow the sound.
Yeah, you there. Stop pretending you can't see me.
Uh-huh.
Why won't anyone look me in the eye? I'm not that ugly, am I?
And read message. Try tree. Okay, I will. Here. Where are you?
Oi! You there. Could you help us out, Cully? What'd you go and do that for?
What happened? That
Oh, yes.
was a
I remember.
creature hiding
Some claws
in a tree.
turned me into a tree. You were just breaking the spell, weren't you?
That's right.
Thank you. The name's Bok. I was pushed out of the cave. Told not to come back. Not ever. Then I ended up as a tree. Lucky you came along, really.
I would say so.
Oh, what a shame. When they threw me out of the cave, they took everything I owned.
That's
And so
rough.
this is all I have to express my thanks. I hope you can forgive me.
He gave us a mushroom times 10. Thanks, buddy.
Well, if you can afford to wait for a while, I could sneak back into the cave and bring back something of actual value. Well, then I'd be of some real use to you, I reckon.
Oh, okay.
Right, but I'll need a moment. I'm frightened of them, so I have to gather myself.
All right, buddy, you take your
My
time.
knees start knocking, just thinking about that god-awful cave on the shore.
Well, we were actually, maybe not the same cave you're talking about, but we were thinking about going to a cave. So that was a case of just following our ears, and here is the telescope, but this is what I wanted to show you first, which is there is a site of grace right here. Let's go get this. You can see the light swirling toward it. It's always important to pick up as many of these as we can. Wonderful. All right. And I'm getting back on torrent. And here's the telescope. Let's use it. So the bird's eye telescope allows you to get a bird's eye view of the terrain, and we will. So we can use it, and we can move this around, and we can indeed zoom in and out. That's where we're actually trying to go. You could see this is the ruined site that we were fighting at. There's the staircase where we went down and got ourselves a whetstone. As we move back around here, you could see the slabs of ruin. There is the church where we met Rena and the merchant is. And why, there is where we emerged not too long ago. So this is very nice to just, it's cool to see the world from that vantage point, and can help you find, you know, some places that aren't on the map that just look worth going to. Now I'm going to ride us down. And let's see if we can fall down here without taking too much damage, and we could. So now we're in the swamp, and I'm just going to ride fast. Faster still for this. And torrent will disappear when they are no longer able to carry us. And we found the Limgrave tunnels. So once you discover this, it does have an animation or a kind of icon on the map. And there is a site of grace down here, and you better believe we're getting it. And now we can teleport back here, if need be. There is also a summoning pool that we could turn on. And I'm going to bust out my torch and see what we've got. Try fire, indeed. So there's miners everywhere in here. And oh boy. If we kill them, we get smithing stones. It seems brutal, but it is a way, indeed, for us to acquire the crafting materials we want. Now, this guy back down here with the backpack, he's going to be a jerk, and he's going to want to make our life miserable. With a throwing item. I'm just going to dodge back, and I'm going to heal myself. Just dodge that. Oh, he's fallen. Okay. Oh boy, he hit us through the... That was a surprise. Okay. You weren't supposed to be able to do that, buddy. Alright, he's running. Get away from this stuff. Okay, very good. Get me my shield back. And he's dead. So this place is a little challenging for us with our current weapon. But with some guard counters, we can indeed stop them. Now, this had a smithing stone on the wall that we could just acquire, and we picked it up. Now, I like being very slow and methodical when I clear this, and this is just a good point for us to kind of feel things out. This place feels a little hard. I may have led us astray. I do not have the perfect order of where we should go in mind, beyond just the places I've already showed you, because this tunnel, for example, I did not discover until much later with my initial play of the game, and I was really, really powerful when I came here, so it was very easy. But for a character that we haven't even leveled up yet, this isn't, you know, it's not impossible, but it's certainly, you know, a little bit more challenging. Alright. So we got a smithing stone and another smithing stone. But it's worth it because now we can upgrade our sword to +2. So I'm just going to continue looking around here. And there is a guy kind of hiding back here. You always want to watch out for guys like this, because you'll think everything's fine. And then like this guy will pop out because you were not aware that he was even there. There's a bunch of rats. Okay, well. Oh boy. Run. They're hurting us. Okay. Yeah, these rats are no joke, are they? Whew. Now they gave us a little room. But just using our shield and occasionally guard parrying, or guard countering, sorry, we are making reasonable progress here. And I always like to feel it out, like, how far can I get from the site of grace fighting guys, and how many heals do I have left? We haven't yet found anybody who wants to restore our charges, which is a shame. I'm going to pull out my torch, and this is the room, or the tunnel, that the rats were in, and we get a smithing stone again, which is awesome. Precious item indeed. Hilarious animation, you gotta love it. Okay, so we know what's over there. It's a dead end filled with rats and the smithing stone that we got. Most of the items in this game that you can acquire are well illuminated, so you're not going to be... you'll see the ore on the wall. And obviously, the regular item pickups are glowing. Okay, so now we can get to a deeper part still. And this note says, hidden path ahead, and then secret passage ahead. So this is what we were talking about earlier with the lift. So let's see if we can find it. I'm just going to pull out my torch and I'm going to look. Is there indeed a secret passage for us? Yes, right back there where that message was. We saw there was another way that we could go. And let's take a look and see if we can get there. Whoop. Now, we made it to this area, but we can't quite jump high enough. So let there be confusion indeed. We did not make the jump. And that's bad, because now look where we are, and we're like, well, what am I supposed to do? Well, we can't see much. What we could do is jump off and die. That's definitely a possibility. Or we could, you know, try to follow this trail over here. We cannot fast travel out of this place. You could see how there's a slash through all the sites of grace, and that is indicated by the icon in the upper left that's telling us, you know, the kind of picture of a scroll with a shard through it and an X underneath our stamina bar. That's saying, no, no, no. You cannot do that. So I'm going to go ahead and heal myself to full. Or, I suppose, close to it. And I'm actually going to use Assassin's Approach. I'm going to drink my flask. And hopefully Assassin's Approach with a somersault can help us get down here and not bite the dust. So I'm just kind of rolling to other locations, and we made it. So we didn't die. We're here, but you'll notice the lift is missing, and look at that. We also talked about this. There is something under the lift, but in this case, I believe that if we drop down there, that there is nothing down there, that we just fall to our doom. So we could just go forward, but I'm going to go ahead and pull the lever. I am so very curious. I don't care that I'm low on health and flask charges because I don't have that many runes. So it's not a huge deal to me. Now what I'm going to try to do is get to this secret location. That was it right there. Okay. So we've got to jump a little earlier. Just going to kind of keep practicing what it takes. We missed it, and we have died. Oh, woe is me. So, when you die like that, now we get to talk about getting our runes back. I have 0 runes, and the game is telling us, upon dying, you'll be revived to the last site of grace, but you'll drop any runes in your possession at the site of your death. If you die again before reclaiming those runes, they will be lost forever. And you could see the compass at the top of the screen indicates the direction of the lost runes. So they are marked, and we can use that to head toward it, but we know where we were. So I'm going to run us in that direction. Now, you don't have to do it this way, but we could say, you know what? I don't need to fight all of these guys because I'm not going to go fight the rats. I'm not going to fight these guys for their supplies because I already got a bunch of smithing stones and I want to get my body. I want to focus on that. So I'm just going to kind of shortcut to it and try our very, very best to find where our runes are. I'm going to go down. I'm not going to try to get to Secret Passage right now because I want to get back my body, and here they are. You could see they're kind of growing out of the tree like little, or growing out of the ground like little Erd trees, and bam, I got my runes back. Just like that. So, when we talked about sprinting before and avoiding encounters, a massive part of that is situations like that, where you're just going to try to get your runes back, and you don't want to die. There's a dog in here. There was a dog in here. And we got a large glintstone scrap, which seems cool. Another dog coming. Alright. And it looks like there's a miner that's also coming. So that guy was a bit tricky. He didn't want to get stymied, but we did get him. Another person digging forever. Oh boy. There we go. Alright. Got another smithing stone there. I'm going to get the torch out. And look. Back here. More smithing stones. Wonderful. And this, well, really looks to me to be a dead end. And seems to suggest that we've gotten most of the stuff that's available in this tunnel. And we could say to ourselves, okay, time to go. And that will be fine. We have 900 runes. We got a bunch of smithing stones. Very, very good. However, I'm going to foolishly make one more attempt to get the hidden path. Let's try to figure out the best way of getting there. We know it's over here. Oh, we missed it entirely. Okay. I was facing the wrong way. It's over here. So, I think we don't want to hit this chain. I'm terrible at this kind of stuff, by the way. Okay. We made it, but did we make it? Right? Like, what did we get for this? Are we anywhere? So, I think what we want to do is start to look around for an actual hidden path. And what is a hidden path? A hidden path is something that you can actually reveal by striking the environment. So I'm going to drop down to where we started out before. And see, is there a hidden path? Are we in the right place? What have we done? I believe I've been making life too hard on myself. And how did I do that? I will show you. I was trying so hard to get there when in fact it was much easier than that all along. All right. So instead, where we want to go is down here. So you do need to get here, but then instead of looking for a hidden passage, I was making it too hard. You want to get down here, and we'll just roll. Okay. By the way, I'm not completely off my rocker. There are walls that you can knock away as false or illusory by hitting them with your weapon. But all we actually had to do was just come into this cave. And what does this message say? If only I had a sorcery, yeah. There's a lot more guys here that we can fight. These guys are probably weak to sorcery. I don't approve of the way that I was not able to strike that guy. Alright, that's scary. Oh my god, we've been killed by fire. So, we found what we were looking for. Interesting. Where is the stake of America? Let's get greedy and choose it. Where are you? I didn't see it. Oh, it was right here by the hidden passage that we found. Cool. So this area where we just died, and there's our runes. Let's go get them. This area is much harder than some of the other parts of this. Let's see if we can just get one guy to follow us. So we need to fight them one at a time. Awesome. So this is another reason I wanted to do this beginner's guide, which is like there's a lot of content that I did not cover as an astrologer. So this is all new to me, and this playstyle is new to me. So we get to kind of explore as beginners together. Oh boy. Lintstone scrap, sure. There is a material here. Smithing stone, any others? Just kind of look at the walls a little bit more closely, make sure I'm not missing anything. Great. Alright, here's some guys. Oh, okay. I only want one, please. Just gotta top off with a heal. We should get ourselves a ranged weapon at some point so we can fight these guys and pull them out more easily. I cannot summon my dogs in here, unfortunately. That would be really nice. I know. He's getting his torch ready. Okay. Now this we don't want. Nor do we want that. Okay. I'm actually going to walk back here. I really don't want to fight both of them. I don't know if that's even an option, though. Okay, that actually stymied my block. Ah, annoying. I know. Alright. Oh, he... Okay. No problem. I mean, a small problem. So that was very sloppy, but we got the job done. And what we're learning, of course, as we go is fighting in corridors is really tough. Your weapon can hit the wall, sometimes in the environment, which can really, really mess up what you are planning to do. But we did somewhat make it through. Ah, fine. They didn't have quite enough stamina to keep hitting that guy. Alright, and we found yet another lift. Precious item here? I don't know. I rolled this way, but I may have made a terrible mistake. Oh no, I think we actually just ended up coming back around. Here, let's go back down. Well, I might have made a mistake. Let's see. What do we got? No, it does lead to something. If we can make it to this. A golden rune. That doesn't seem too great. But we got a somber smithing stone, which actually is a precious item. It is always jumping off, isn't it? And it's fine either way. Okay. So we have found ourselves another portion here. If we want to ride the lift back up to where we were, we can certainly do that. But we can also go in here and, you know, fight a big guy. But do I feel like fighting a big guy? Not really. I don't have very much healing, and I don't feel super strong. So what I'm going to do instead of fighting the giant guy is ride up. If there's no other way out, there is just no other way out. But I'd like to at least examine this for myself. So that kind of leads to where we traveled and got ourselves the somber smithing stone. What do we want to do? I mean, we could, if we really, really wanted, try to fight that boss with just one heal, but it doesn't feel great to me. I'm only going to lose 1,400 ashes, which, you know, isn't tremendous, I suppose, but I'm instead going to try to just run and jump over here. And, yeah, down indeed. And we do take some damage, but we're back. Alright. Oh, yeah. Already did that. Let's go up. Let's get out of here. So this little tunnel does have a boss, and we made it there, but gauging how we're doing in this place, I just don't feel strong enough for it. I also don't have an item to help protect us against any kind of fire damage currently. And if that guy wants to do fire damage, which I'm not sure he does, we don't have the right solution for that. So let's just say we did a great job and run past these guys and get out of here. I'm going to rest at the site of grace. It'll respawn all the guys, but that is okay. I'm feeling really good. And we have done a ton in this episode. We explored the Limgrave tunnels, and we got many, many materials that we can use to go upgrade our weapon. And I believe that that's what we're going to do now, which is go back here to the church, raise up the level of our weapon, and continue exploring this way. I'm leaving this... I'm going to actually remove this marker. I'm going to put a skull marker here instead of the sword, because we got the crafting materials, but there's still a boss that we need to defeat, so I'm just going to leave that there. Everyone, I hope you're still finding this series to be useful and fun. There's plenty of this game that I've never done before, so like I said, I'm still a beginner as a melee fighter, and there are places I'm exploring for the first time, and I think it gives good insight into some of the thought process and things that happen as you explore and learn the strengths and weaknesses of the enemies, die, get your body, and all the fun that shows you that, hey, I'm not perfect, I have a lot to learn, but I'm still knowledgeable about these games and having fun with it, and I hope you are too. I will check you next time. Take care.